to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everyone? It's Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com with another episode of Infinity and Beyond, your weekly Disney video game podcast. We're going to be talking about all things Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel. And on this week's show, we're going to be talking about the new Marvel's, possibly Guardians of the Galaxy TellTale Game, big update to Marvel Heroes, also talk about a new Star Wars game, maybe a little bit of Tron and Grand Theft Auto, and just in general, a little bit of news about what's been going on this week in the Disney stuff. So, James, this week, what have you been playing other than, Jason sheep yesterday?
No, that's really about it. I played a little bit of Tomb Raider, and I've been playing a little bit of Lego Dimensions.
Yeah.
Not too much, but I ended up picking up World of Final Fantasy, and I want to try that out. So
yeah, I've Rise of the Tomb Raider. Actually, that's on my Christmas list so I'm hoping I'll be playing that one after Christmas. Played a little demo at EGX, so that one looked pretty cool. Again, a little bit of Lego Dimensions. I finished off the main campaign now, so I finished that off completely. So that's good. Now I've just got a few of the level packs I picked up that I kind of got out of. So that main story was pretty good. I just played a few hours of Kingdom Hearts. I was hoping my Watch Dogs 2 was going to arrive yesterday, but that will hopefully be arriving today. So that's my next weeks of entertainment will be playing a little bit of Watch Dogs 2. But like I said, Lego Dimensions and Kingdom Hearts. I'm just trying to think. And a bit of WWE, that's about it really. I've been waiting for this game to arrive.
I have only played the first 2 story missions of Lego Dimensions. Yeah. Everything else has been level packs and adventure zones.
Yeah.
I think I spent a bunch of time just finding all the red bricks. Even though I don't have the money to buy them, I just went and found all the red bricks I could.
Yeah, so I kind of went the other way. I've only been in like one adventure world. I haven't done any of the level packs I've picked up. I did the exact opposite of main story first, do all the additional stuff. I'm hoping Sonic. I've got Sonic pre-ordered, so that will be coming in this week. So that's bring me back in a little bit. But yeah, that was the only bit of Lego Dimensions I've picked up or getting out of this new wave. I'm gonna wait for ET, and I'm still not sure about the story pack. I'm still a little bit
I'm gonna get it, but I'm not gonna get it full price. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. We are gonna have Black Friday here right when I get back home from my trip, and I expect that they'll have some sales on it at that point, and if not, at least before Christmas, because Wave 6 was already 40% off only like 2 or 3 weeks after it came out. Now it's back to full price right now, but I'm sure there will be sales.
Yeah, we've had quite a lot of promotion. And this is the kind of thing I've noticed with some of the Black Friday stuff coming up for some of the sales, obviously connected to Disney Infinity. I think I've seen buy one get free play sets for $9.99, starter kits for $9.99. If the stores still have them, a lot of stores have cleared out their physical stocks. There's a lot of online stuff. I know, like the Skylanders, they're already heavily discounted. Legos being heavily discounted as well. Seen starter packs on like $29.99. It feels like there's been a lot more aggressive pricing on Lego Dimensions on this year, on the sort of the second half. We didn't see any promotions at all hardly in year one, and now we've given constant deals since the second lots have launched.
Yeah, and you can really go either way with that. You can either say, oh, there are a lot of deals because it's not selling and retailers kind of want to move it, or, this is coming down from Lego and they're saying, we want to incentivize it, lower the price a little bit. People love a deal. They love seeing that 30% off or 40% off sticker, and that's maybe what they're trying to capitalize on. Yeah,
I still wish they'd done that a little bit more with that starter pack in year one, because I really felt that price point that they came in at was so stupidly high. Now they're selling at the price that kids will pick it up. And I can't help but feel like they lost year one because they didn't do it properly and way too priced.
Oh yeah, $100 was way too much, especially for only essentially 3 minifigures. Yes, you got the whole game, but in terms of toys to life, you have to factor in the figures that you're getting as well, and Gandalf Wild Style, and I don't remember the third one at this point. Batman, of course. I mean, those 3 are they've been in a lot of sets already.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're unique figures for people, which is also one of the major selling points of Lego.
Yeah, so just going to quickly just jump into that a little bit. Disney did release their third quarter results, which generally was a little bit. It was a bit down. Parks are down in terms of attendance all across the world. Though they are slightly up because they got Shanghai. Movies they had a bad quarter because they only had that chess movie and Pete's Dragon, so it was a bit of a slacker month compared to other ones. But on the gaming side and sort of consumer products, their revenues had dropped 17%, and operational, and so whether or not they say the decrease in revenue was primarily due to the discontinuation of the Infinity game business. Lower operating income was driven by decreases at our merchandise licensing and games, and was partially offset at increase at our publishing. So they sold lots of books, but the decrease and not having Frozen and stuff. Lower results in our game business were due to the discontinuation of Disney Infinity console, which benefited from the launch of Free Point in the previous year, and an unfavorable dollar. Now, obviously, the thing is with quarterly results is they can be a bit skewed depending on what's gone on in that quarter. You might have a launch game in. The WWE, for example, if you have WrestleMania in your month, you're going to have a good month. I know with my business, some years I can end up with, if you've got Easter or a bank holiday or something like that, it can boost up your thing. So quarterlies are not a huge thing, but if you look at that quarter and the financial years, for the previous few years, there's going to be some major drops with not having launches of 1, 2, or 3 like they've had in the previous years. So it's going to be a big impact on that.
Well, I mean, it's not even just that Disney Infinity wasn't launched. It was, as we've talked about many times, the fact that they had nothing to fill the gap once Disney Infinity was off the radar. So that there's literally nothing coming out other than their mobile games and some re-releases. Yeah. And yeah, of course they're going to be down if they're not releasing games. You can't make money without a product.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, that's definitely, if you look at it this way, we had Epic Pinball, we got Star Wars Battlefront Ultimate Edition out this week. We've had those two DS games, even Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and 1.5 and 2.5, while the little 0.2 Aqua mission, that's all just reissues. Ultimate Alliance, all we've had is constant re-releases. So yeah, it's probably going to be a while, but obviously I'm hoping in some ways that division will slowly start now to be able to recoup, because they won't be compared. But you just know when that big financial year comes out, there's going to be a massive gaping hole in their budget.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially since they don't have Battlefront 2 coming out this year. It's due next year. They don't have any major games. There's no Moana game. There's nothing lined up, and we're not going to see anything in quarter 1 next year. We're not going to see anything in quarter 2. We'll see Kingdom Hearts, and that'll probably have an impact, but it's nothing like having a AAA release like some of the other companies are. So that's just the reality. But if they stick with it, then in a couple of years, they'll get Kingdom Hearts 3, they'll get Battlefront 2, plus all the other Star Wars games, and
and I also suspect Spider-Man, the way that he popped up in the recent King trailer for PlayStation, I think is a little bit more imminent than we think it is.
You know what? I'm all for that as long as the game's ready to go. So,
we got extra person on the show.
he's demanding attention, and he's pushing the monitor, which has the microphone there. Here comes his tail. There he goes. So I would, if it's ready to go, I'd absolutely love to play a Spider-Man game.
Yeah, I must admit that trailer did look good. It did sort of. I mean, Spider-Man's only in it for a few seconds, but he definitely, grabs the attention while he's in there, and it does look pretty epic. So I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. I think that's definitely. I having just recently played through Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's reminded me of why those games are so much fun, and I think this one's going to be much stronger than that.
I mean, they've had a long time to develop it, as far as we know, and they've had a long time to examine what happened with the other Spider-Man titles and see what worked and what didn't, and we'll see.
Yes, it wouldn't, again, surprise me if that's going to be like October, November. Pens, I do wonder, like, this year, it does feel like they went a little bit overboard on all the different companies. They've released too many AAA titles too close together, in that they're all having a major impact, because at the minute, I mean, we're having, what, 1 or 2 major AAA titles a week for like 15 weeks or something like that, which is basically drowning them out, and they're not making as much money because there's too much competition.
Well, that, and it's not just that they're releasing AAA games, they're releasing AAA games in the same genre. Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, all came out within about a month of each other. And, of course they're going to cannibalize sales from each other.
Yeah, so no, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. On a little bit of other news on the Marvel side of things, it looks like we've kind of had the leak telling us what the TellTale game, which was originally announced back in April, saying that there's a game coming out in 2017. So we knew that one. But the voice actors strike, SAFAEFTRA, basically put out a list saying that under TellTale games they got Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, aka Blue Harvest, and then underneath that, I think they had a Walking Dead game underneath that, which pretty much, I think, tells us exactly what that was, a Guardians of the Galaxy game that they're working on. Yeah,
I mean, there's not too much ambiguity to that. The real question is, where is the story going to take place? Is it going to be based on the movie universe? Is it going to be based on the comics? Is it going to be based on the kids show? Since it's TellTale, I'm going to assume it's not based on the kids show.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything about it. But TellTale has a reputation. The Batman game that's currently coming out has very favorable reviews. I played Fable, the Wolf one. I forget what it's called now, but it was a really good game. And Jurassic Park was surprisingly fun.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to look forward to there.
Yeah. See, I've actually never played one. So for me, actually, this is kind of one of the situations of not really knowing too much of it. I've looked at a few videos and stuff of the Batman game when that came out because I was tempted. But I think for me, again, I would prefer like the Arkham kind of style gameplay than like a story driven. I am the one that's constantly hitting the skip button on cinematic bits because I just want to play it, and I think so. That's where I will play this new one. It'll be interesting to know what they're doing. But in some ways, I'm actually sitting there going, well, when this game comes out, this Marvel TellTale, this will be my very first experience playing that type of genre. So I've kind of decided, actually, no, I'm just going to leave it be, and just kind of play that for the first time and be like, whoa, I don't know how this works, how it does, and kind of take it in as it is.
I mean, it's one of those things where you don't really want to approach it as a game. You kind of want to approach it as an interactive movie or an interactive television show with certain actions where you can wander around and find clues and stuff. But really, the meat of the game is in the decisions.
Yeah.
And they have done a very good job of making decisions actually matter in the games. So
it'll be interesting to see if they go with the episode system that they've used on previous games. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of been digging this idea a little bit more now. This kind of constant drip feed of game stuff. I know a lot of gamers want the whole feast on one day, but no, I'm turning around to this thing of episodes are actually a little bit more better for I think for our generation. I think are becoming a little bit more useful.
I think it really depends on what your what kind of game you're doing. Like, I would not want to buy Call of Duty in monthly installments, but a game like this where you can tell an hour, 2-hour story, and then come back to it in a month and pop in another one, as long as you get consistent releases at a reasonable rate of time, then I'm all for it. Don't go Half-Life 2 where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna add content every couple months, and then 3 years later we're just or like 30 years later we're sitting here going, hey, where's episode 3? Where is it?
It's almost like people complaining about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3, they are a long-suffering people. Actually, people who like games that end in 3 tend to be long-suffering people. So,
right, okay, so we're going to flick over now we're going to keep on the Marvel theme, actually. Beast is now going to be coming to Marvel Heroes 2016. He was announced as a 60th playable character. No release date was announced for him. He's going to be also included as the 7th character in the Advanced Pack 3, which they did say there was a mystery one coming. He's got 2 new looks. Uncanny Humans, or Inhumans blue gorilla costume, and an astonishing X-Men blue Failing Eileen cat version. And so, yeah, I'm going to be honest, not the beast I was expecting, because I think for me, I automatically go back to the 90s animated sort of. That was my. We know they're going to do a costume of that later.
I'm in the same boat. 90s animated beast with the kind of slightly spiky hair and the mostly human but covered in fur.
Yeah.
Is still what I picture as Beast, even though he has in fact been this cat version in some form or other for now more than 10 years. So,
yeah.
But
yeah, I'm not too sure about that costume. It's not very flattering on him, is it?
No, I didn't like the costume when it was originally came out, and it doesn't hold up well. I know a lot of comics fans are going to disagree with that because it was designed by an artist named Frank Quietly, who's extremely popular, but I don't like that costume.
No. It should be pretty good. And now obviously they announced a big blog post all the new details, which I'm sure you read. I was just reading it going, I don't really. It's like I can understand they're adding the new difficulty scale to make it easier and harder. Great for me because I've now I've slowly slid into I'm an old man gamer and now, so let's just put it on easy.
Yeah, I mean I'm not even an old man gamer, but I prefer to just kind of go in there. I play games to feel like super powerful. I don't play for challenges, and that there's certainly plenty of people who play for challenges, and this will be that for them too. So that's great.
Yeah,
but.
Can't help but feel again it's this kind of thing of they seem to be adding what I would call normal game things of just easier controls, easier mechanisms, cutting down a little bit on too much. I mean, it's like all those things with the boxes and stuff. This is where that's the one issue I have with the game, where I find it a little bit too complicated with too much of the relics and the unboxings and it doesn't. When you're new to it, it doesn't make a lot of sense because there's too much of it. It's not like, Mario, you collect coins. In a mobile game, you might collect one particular currency and, two currencies maybe tie in. That seems to be quite common now where you have the two currencies and one's a little bit harder to get than the other. This kind of the 5,000 different currencies kind of gets a little bit difficult sometimes to work out what's going on.
Marvel Heroes is a game that desperately needs a streamlined version of it. They need to consolidate the currencies. They need to make it so that it's much easier to identify how to level up your character and how to gear your character. And frankly, they just need less gear, because you've got your 5 equipment slots, you've got relics, you've got your 4 artifacts, you've got a ring, you've got a medallion. It's just and that's not even all of them.
Yeah.
And it's just streamline it, make it easier. It doesn't look like they're actually doing too much with that. They're adjusting the 5 main equipment spots, and that's about it. But you know what? All of it so far is in writing. It's up on the test center now. I have not played that, and I'm not going to because I'm heading out of town tomorrow, and I'm not going to waste time playing the test center. But it's something that you can read the notes on over and over, and I have a feeling a lot of it won't make sense until you actually get your hands on it.
I think they've definitely, there is a massive upgrade coming, which makes sense because obviously they're going to have to rebrand the game either Marvel Heroes or Marvel Heroes 2017, in next year. So it makes sense for them to kind of, I think as well of, I think they spent a lot of time this year just working on upgrading the game to being compatible for 2017 and onwards. Obviously with this kind of news, I know that when I read the subreddits and the forums and stuff, you got a lot of people that are basically anti any change, and a lot of people wanting particular changes that that they find, is but I feel like I'm maybe the person that they're trying to draw in, right? It's this thing of trying to get just more. They need more casual people in to make more money, basically, because the game's been around for a while, and the hardcore fans will keep buying everything and doing what they need to, but they've got all this content and they just need to get more people into it, and that's kind of and like we've said before, we think a console release is probably it will be announced in the new year.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's on the cards, and they need to simplify things for console players. Not to say that console players are stupid. I'm saying that consoles inherently have less complexity than a mouse and keyboard, and they need to set it up for that kind of gameplay where you've only got the pad and the 4 buttons and the D-pad and all that stuff. And this looks like that's the direction they're going in. And even as a PC player, I think even if they release a console, I'll stick to the PC, but simplification is not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
We'll have to see it in action.
No, it's looking good. I'm looking forward to try because I kind of I pop in like at least I try to pop in at least once a week and try and I'm sort of trying to work my way through the story. But I play with the console controller, I play with the Xbox One controller, and the only thing I use on my keyboard and stuff for generally is sorting out all of that, wading through all of the stuff I've picked up because I just fill up that first one. I've got extra boxes, all my extra characters that I've got. I'm just throwing stuff in there left, right, and centre because it's like, what do I do with it? I don't know. I suppose I better keep it. I've got piles and piles. It's like the only thing I know is Eternity Splinters mean I can buy more characters, and I've never spent a single bit of the currency because I don't know what to buy with it. I've got so much stuff. I don't know what to do with it all.
Yeah, and Eternity Splinter prices never go on sale, so they're always like, oh, you can buy one get one free, but no, it's only if you use money currency, not Eternity Splinters, which are the drops. Yeah, no. Bastards.
But no, they're definitely it's definitely a fun game. It's free to play, so if you haven't played it, jump into it. But yeah, all these updates I think are going to make it a lot more interesting. I think for me, I am looking forward to seeing all the upgrades because I'm hoping it makes it a bit simpler for me, and I'm not a person that's really locked into the old play style because I'm still new. So no, it should be good. I'm looking forward to that one.
And for any new players, one of the early complaints for the game was that everybody ended up playing the same characters. There were hundreds of Daredevils and hundreds of Captain Marvels or whatever running around. And now there's 60 characters, and everyone's kind of dispersed a bit. So one of those, you're far less likely to end up seeing too many people playing the same character.
On Sunday morning, was it last week when they did the free Doctor Strange giveaway? I was actually away the whole day. I was off at a concert, and we were at Christmas shopping, so didn't get home till late. Got up first morning. I'm like, right, hopefully with the time change, logged in, didn't get my free Doctor Strange, and everywhere I looked there was people just Doctor Strange. It was like I'm sitting there going, I think I've missed it by like an hour, and I was just
It's unfortunate. The thing is, though, if you want to talk about complexity, Doctor Strange is like the poster child for needs simplification.
Yes. Yeah, he's just the whole sort of set up for everything. I think he hasn't got specific skills or anything for any game. It's hard superhero to kind of give exact kind of powers to. Yeah,
I mean, his entire thing is he's magic, and with magic, in theory, you can do anything. This is why Green Lantern also is very, very difficult in games because you can only use a very specific moveset, but his power set is literally imagination.
Yeah. So that's good. So right, I'm gonna flick over now to something very, very different. Grand Theft Auto 5. I wasn't quite expected to be talking about that in a Disney podcast game. Let's just say they've done a new upgrade or a new mode called Deadline, and they've added new bikes and they've added new costumes. And let's just say I think Tron Inspired would be taking it a little bit too thin. I mean, this is basically they've added Tron to the game.
Yeah, it's. I have not played GTA since 2. That's a long time ago. But I was talking to a friend, and he did play GTA 5 online, and he was talking about the Tron mode, and he said it's a ton of fun. And it is Tron, straight up. He was talking about it, and he wasn't even using other words. It was light cycles and Tron and all that.
Well, they've even got the bit that comes out the back, the light, and they've got to block them off and all the rest of it. I'm going to be honest. I was standing in game on Friday, and I had it because it was reduced down to like $29.99, and it came with like $3 million of extra credits for backing it up. I'm going, why am I buying this? I've got Watch Dogs 2 coming in like 3 days. It could be there by the time I get home. And because I played GTA 5 on the PlayStation 3 when it came out, and played right through the whole story mode. But obviously the whole online stuff has kind of built up. I've never got into that, but I have played through the main story of GTA 5. To be honest, I've played every GTA game since they came out. I love that franchise. You know, if you say to me GTA 6 is out, I'll be day one. You know, I remember I think I went to 2 midnight launches to pick the game up. So for me, I kind of consider them. I've loved the GTA games since I can remember. The top down ones on the PlayStation. I even played them. So
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. GTA 2 was one of the top down ones, and that's the last one that I played.
You've missed out on some amazing. I'm going to be honest. They are probably one of my favorite games of all time, especially Vice City. I remember I must have put hundreds of hours into Vice City. I love that game.
Vice City is also the setting for number 5, isn't it? Or am I?
No, 5 is kind of it's a little bit more open. It's kind of covers a lot more areas because you had like the San Andreas one, which is again a lot of fun. Number 4 went to New York, and number 5 kind of incorporated the whole of it, like LA area.
Oh, okay, LA. Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, and Miami, it's sort of Vice City is the more Miami kind of clone thing. But no, great. I literally was this close to pick. I had the game in my hand and go, no. If I hadn't have pre-ordered Watch Dogs, that thing would have been in my bag. I was like, going $29.99 for like a €5 game. But everyone's saying, 70 odd million copies have sold of this game. Literally online, they've committed to more years of content that they're putting out. They literally, they just want you playing this game and buying in. It's one of the most biggest games. It's still in the charts like 5 years later. It shows you how the power of this game is just amazing.
And I think $30 or £30 is probably the cheapest I've ever seen it too. I don't think I've ever seen it go below that yet.
No, it's just a constant top seller. It was just fun to see that come in there. It was kind of, I wasn't really expecting. Let's just say last week's news that was very, very odd. I was writing stories about Donald Trump, Grand Theft Auto 5. Very, very odd. There wasn't, and for some reason, I don't know why, but it was almost like a lot of companies decided not to launch any news last week.
I don't know why. Nothing important happened last week. I mean, nothing important at all, and that's what I'm telling myself for the next 4 years. So
yeah, the only ones I think, like you said, was Disney. They go, right, we're going to put out our quarterly results. No one's paying any attention. Quick go.
All right.
On to a new game which is coming soon called Star Wars Battlegrounds. Not connected to Disney Infinity. It's a new mobile game. It's currently available in Australia and Singapore on a soft launch. It was created by Netmarble, which also did Disney Marvel Future Fight, and Disney Magical Quest. Expect to find out a little bit more about this in the next coming weeks. So I haven't, to be honest, I keep getting locked out of my Australian iTunes account. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. You need a powerful team of iconic Star Wars characters in a real-time adrenaline-fueled battle against other players from around the globe. Players must form a powerful squad from a roster of 60 upgradable characters and units and attempt to emerge victorious in a quest for galactic dominance. You've got to have lead a team of 60 characters, including Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Elza Bridger, to name a few. There's also battle and join forces in 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, real-time, and P versus P arena battles. You can also upgrade and collect things, and you can earn rewards, special characters, and bonus items by participating in events. This looks a bit different. It kind of looks a little bit more like Future Fight, kind of different, which is probably a bit more better for me. That's the kind of game I would like to play. It's good to see them kind of jumping in with a new game.
It is. I mean, this is actually the second time they've used the Battlegrounds name. It was an RTS game back in 2001, 2, somewhere back then. Now, obviously, the emphasis is on PvP, which means I'm not particularly interested in it. But if they've got a PvE segment to it, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Especially if they're throwing Ezra in there. I mean, not specifically because it's Ezra, but that shows that they're kind of reaching out and doing a whole variety of eras and characters and stuff. So,
well, it kind of feels a little bit like this year is a little bit like, because of Rogue One, they're kind of, I would almost say, re-pushing the classic characters to the new generation. It feels like, they're filling in the gaps, they're filling in the timeline. The whole thing about Kylo Ren, they've almost feels like they're giving them the year off to kind of focus on the classic characters and getting them connected with a new audience with different. Because it's like, seeing even the icon logo with Chewie and Han, I'm like, well, I would have expected a Rogue One kind of tie-in straight off the bat. There's no mention of Rogue. I mean, obviously they can do that as a second wave when it launches, but it should be good. I think this is what we've been talking about, where if Star Wars and Disney can follow what Marvel are doing, I think it's a much better way of doing it, of having a couple of different games, different styles, and then you can raise one thing across the different networks then.
Apparently it's called Force Arena in Australia.
All right.
It's under a different name right now, but all the icons and pictures are the same. So,
yeah. So it should be good. I'm looking forward to trying that one out. Any new games that's coming out. Quick one as well was, looks like we've got a Moana Rhythm game coming as well. Friend over at DisKingdom put out a tweet saying it's coming. I haven't been able to find anything more on that. We've also got Island Life coming out. We've got the new level for Moana. That should all be dropping in the next couple of days or a week. Can't imagine it's too long, because how long's Thanksgiving? Another week away for you guys?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah. So I'm expecting some drops beginning in next week on all of this stuff, just ahead of the movie. So that should be good. But yeah, we don't know. I don't really know anything more about that at the minute.
I mean, rhythm game is different. We haven't had a rhythm game, a mobile rhythm game, in quite some time. So, yay. Maybe it'll be good. I mean, if it follows, like, say, the Final Fantasy DS games that were Theorhythm or whatever the heck it was called, those were fun games. If it follows something like that, then it could be fun. If it follows something like the Dance Dance Revolution, but for your fingers instead of your feet, that could be entertaining. We'll see what they have in mind.
Yeah. See, I've only really ever played like Guitar Hero, so.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, so we're expecting a big drop of Moana games, probably in the next new Moana content and stuff. Looks like they're also going to be adding Frozen to Disney Magical Kingdoms. That looks like they kind of did a very, very slight tease last night. So that should be a little bit interesting as well. They're also doing lots of little events to unlock incredible content at the minute, which I think is quite good. Little box, because at the minute the Dash one just started. I'm there thinking, this is where it's going to be a little bit more interesting for me, because I still need to get Mr. Incredible and Violet and Syndrome. So I know if they're going to continue this trend of doing this, I'm going to have to be playing a lot to get enough bots to get those characters.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because you do have to hunt down the bots, and you can't auto jump to them like you can during the story missions.
Yeah.
And you have to get 200 of them, but you have 5 or 6 days to do it. Yeah. I'm just hoping Syndrome, assuming they do Syndrome, waits until I get back home, because I'm not going to be playing in England.
No. Well, I'm guessing by the fact they did dashes for the next 5-6 days, I'm guessing they'll go through the list the way they did them. So I'm hoping. So I might even have to actually take my iPad to work, I think, to try and get some extra credits in the middle to try and get those bots. Because that's the thing for me, because I only log in 3 times a day. It doesn't give you enough. I've been finding it's just not enough to actually get this content quick enough when these events are on. I'm still way down in the Toy Story story mode, because I need this to level up, and every time there was an event, it's kind of it delays me for a few weeks.
Yep, and that's exactly why they do it that way.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. So I'm hoping next month when I upgrade my phone, I can actually have some apps on games on my phone to play, because I've got space.
Yeah, hopefully.
An 8 gig iPhone just didn't cut it when I upgraded 2 years ago. It was the iOS software alone, I think, is 3/4 of it.
No, I think 8 gigs is nothing nowadays.
No.
Nothing.
No, right. Well, I think that actually covers all of the news for the week. So that one there, there was no other bits and pieces of news. I just checked the PlayStation Store just before we went live, and there was nothing popped up in the new. I wasn't really expecting anything new because all the Star Wars Lego stuff's out. Rogue One should be coming up soon. But yeah, so on next week's show we'll be just sort of discussing a load of Marvel games because James is off, so we've kind of done a pre-recorded one. So yeah, we'll be back with another news version in 2 weeks when we should hopefully have some bits and pieces of news. On that note, James, where can they get hold of you?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Right now I am off of social media. I haven't been updating my website. So at the moment I'm not really available. Plus I'm going to be out of the country for the next week and a half. So
if you want to get
even if you try to get a hold of me, I'm going to ignore you.
Yeah, I must say, there's that kind of thing of like, you're going on vacation. It's like, because I'm going to go away in January, and it's like, making sure, the hotel's going to have Wi-Fi. I'll be checking in, but it's like I will be checking in once or twice, either first thing in the morning or last thing at night. And then when I'm off the rest of the day, I want to be disconnected. I think we must be in that kind of, again, older sort of things of we want to be disconnected on our holidays rather than being, I see people going, all right, I'm going on holiday, I need to have 3G and Wi-Fi and, updating status. Like, no, just don't. If you're going to Disneyland, especially if you're going to Disneyland or Disneyland World or Disney World, just turn it off. Just break away from reality. You're supposed to be in a bubble. Just relax.
Yeah. You know what? You're in the Magic Kingdom. You don't need to be playing Disney Magic Kingdom on your phone while you're there. I'd rather ride the Tower of Terror than try to get it out of one of the chests in the game or whatever.
And also, when you're standing in the queue, you're supposed to be bored. That's the way that's where the fun of it comes. You do all those trips as a kid. We didn't have anything.
No, you're supposed to make awkward conversation with the person in line who you've never met and will never see again.
Yeah.
I actually met a really nice Australian father and son combo when we were in line for the Star Wars I forget what it's called, but the ride that they have. And we had a great conversation, and then stormtroopers came and they tried to carry his kid away, which was great.
Or I think the last time we were in Paris, it's like, I think it must have been school trip day or something, and like half the park was just full of school trips. So you're in the line, and it was just lines and lines of students, and of course they're all just yapping and crossing over between each other, and like, shut up.
Get back in line. There's no cutting.
Yeah. So you're standing there, and suddenly 40 kids just try to push past you. Oh yeah, we hold the space, and you're like. All right. On that note, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest summons. You can also subscribe to an audio version. Big thank you to our Patreons as well over at patreon.com/DisKingdom. All your support really does make a difference because it kind of helps for hosting the audio versions of this podcast. And so, yeah, really does make a big difference. And, yeah, finally, you can check us out at DisKingdom.com for all your latest Disney news. And also, like I said, you can find everything over there. And you can find James over at vagabondpeak.com, though he's going to be slightly disconnected for a couple of weeks. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Later.